And welcome back. After the bombing of the Ukraine bridge, or sabotage, even in Europe, the German railways were victims of some type of sabotage of the railway system. And this could be the beginning of an escalation here in Europe of sabotage on European infrastructures. Obviously, Moscow retaliated and they start bombing Kiev, the city of Ukraine. This is the thing: when you play with fire, you end up burning your hands. And I don't seem to realise these Western leaders. And you still got Western leaders, fear-mongering for war. Last but not least, the Foreign Minister of Lithuania, what it's called, is calling for an intervention of NATO inside of Ukraine. And that's absolute craziness, because you end up having a full-scale war in Europe. For what? For countries practically lost 20% of its territory, and it's near on the edge of bankruptcy as well, financially, Kiev. And they're running out of equipment and manpower to fight this war. And they think NATO's going to fight it. No, they made you to fight the war against Russia in place of NATO troops. Whether they don't understand this or not, that's their business. Our business is protests are grown in Europe, not just due to the high costs of energy. The fact is, I think European citizens are beginning to realise they want to opt out of NATO, and NATO could risk, a split. Those who want to go out and those who want to remain. Not very good for NATO. They have to remain compact. There's nations inside it. And Ukraine have been doing excursions in Belarusian territory. Ukraine minister was called to Minsk and was informed officially about the incident, and to tell the government of Kiev to stop it, because they're I think Ukrainians are thinking of opening up the second front on the Belarusian border. They already mined on each side the borderline, and there's news the Ukrainians are practically blowing up the land bridges which leads to Ukraine. And Belarus in time could bring up a fighting force of 500,000 soldiers in case they need it. You've got 10,000 Chechenian fighting in Ukraine. Arrives another 70,000. These military people are born to do war. They're very highly professionally trained, very hardened soldiers, and well equipped. You need 4 NATO soldiers to make one Chechenian soldier. As quality, as preparation, and military gear, practically. So they're natural born warriors for these things. You've got 4,000, was it Polish mercenaries or international mercenaries fighting in Ukraine, and plus you've got secret American forces operating since day one in those parts of Ukraine under presidential decree, secret decree. But they don't need any hassle from Congress or approval. So this is the situation so far. I think Putin's waiting for the moment to strike back when the ground is frozen, and when the battle plans are ready, and the troops and the military gear build up and they're well organised. From that moment onwards, it could be the right moment for the strike back